who's here and who's online, we have a small change in our agenda. We'll go first with our practical toolkit keynote. This session shines a spotlight on the young leaders at the heart of democracy movement worldwide. In the fight for freedom, youth are not just participants. They are often the driving force, pushing boundaries, resisting oppression, and leading change from the ground up. So we are thrilled to welcome Bernard Dika, spokesperson for the President of Regione Toscana. Round of applause. Welcome, Bernard. A passionate advocate for youth engagement in democracy. Bernard will share his strategies that young people can use to amplify their impact. I'll leave you the mic, and I'm really pleased to have you here. Welcome, Bernard.
Good morning, and thank you, first of all, forgive me for my bad English. That's why I have to read. Before I begin, I want to take a moment to sincerely thank Andrea and Colombo, the founders of Atlas Movement, for organizing this important gathering and for their relentless commitment to building a better, fairer, and more united world. Your work is essential, and I'm honored to be here today. You are for me an extraordinary example of commitment, a model of good citizen. Together, we fought for the United States of Europe. Together, we understood that it's not enough for us. We cannot fight only for a continent, only for a people. We must fight for humanity, for the planet. Don Lorenzo Milani once said, I understand that your problem is the same as mine. Getting out of it alone is greed. Getting out of it together is politics. And it's good politics that is missing today. So Atlas entry into the field is welcome. Unfortunately, I must apologize in advance, as I will have to leave shortly after my speech. In my region, we are currently facing a red weather alert due to severe flooding, and today has been particularly difficult. Despite this, I felt it was crucial to be here because if we truly want to fight climate change, we need a global alliance of people and nations. No country alone can face the climate crisis, just as no community alone can withstand its devastating effects. What happened today in my region is yet another reminder that climate change is not a distant threat. It's happening now. And this is why our voice, our action, and our unity matter more than ever. Now, let me share with you why I believe we must act together and why our fight for peace, justice, and sustainability cannot wait. First of all, let's talk of us, young people. When people talk about us, young people, there is a phrase that we always hear, you are the future. And this is where the great misunderstanding arises. Because, you see, the future doesn't exist. It's an abstract concept, a horizon that shifts every time we try to reach it. We don't live in the future, we live in the present. And above all, the challenges we face are not futuristic. They are here, now. Climate change is not a problem of 2050. It's the flood that has swept away entire countries today. Job insecurity is not a distant threat. It's the reality of those who graduated today and only find fixed-term contracts. The demographic crisis is not a newspaper headline about 2050 or 21,000. It's the choice of many young people who today don't see the conditions to build a family. So let's stop saying that we are the future. We are the present, and we want to be the change now. But no mystery. We all know this affection of politics of our generation. But let's talk about this. Perhaps young people are not interested in politics because the way politics works today at a national level is simply incapable of solving the problems that matter most. Problems that are global: climate change, inequality, war, and economic instability don't stop at borders. Yet our political system remains trapped within them, unable to provide real solutions. We live in an era where global dangers seem to loom over us from every direction: climate change, rising inequalities, and of course, the threat of armed conflicts that could escalate into nuclear catastrophe. And yet, despite these perils, we are here today because we believe there is an alternative. We must not fall into the trap of believing that there is nothing we can do. There is an alternative, and it depends on me, on you, on all of us, every single one of us. The dangers we face are not mere injustices. They are crimes, real crimes. They may not have a single name and surname, but they have many. We could call them systemic crimes, global issues that threaten all of humanity and that no single nation can tackle alone. Among the many that must be faced with courage and determination, I propose 5. Climate change. Every year we release more pollution into the atmosphere, pushing us closer to a point of no return. Floods, droughts, and extreme heat waves have become part of our daily reality. If we don't act now, we risk leaving future generations a planet where it will be impossible to live. War that is not the war of 80 years ago. This is a war that destroys everything and everyone. This is the war of nuclear weapons. There are 40,000 nuclear warheads in the world, while just 50 would be enough to wipe out humanity entirely. Growing inequality, number 3. Today, a handful of people, countable on 2 hands, only 2 hands, own as much wealth as half the world. This inequality leads to millions of deaths from hunger and preventable diseases every year, an injustice we can no longer tolerate. Number 4, exploitation of labor. Around 1.5 billion people worldwide work in inhuman conditions for starving wages, sometimes as little as €1 per hour, often without any protections or rights. This exploitation not only destroys lives, but also undermines human dignity, one of the fundamental pillars of our civilization. Meanwhile, here in the West, 5 million of us enjoy, to varying degrees, labor rights. But these rights are under attack. The phenomenon of outsourcing is proof of how the world has changed. A single nation alone holds little power. What sovereignty does Italy have if it isolates itself? None. 80 years ago, Italy ensured competition in the market between companies. Today, the balance has shifted. Multinational corporations pit entire nations against one another, moving their investments where it's easiest to exploit labor, ravage the environment, avoid taxes, and corrupt governments. To compete with these forces, workers' rights won through years of struggle are being eroded day by day. The dignity of labor is under global attack, and the response must be global and united. Nations must reclaim their power, reestablishing the rights that have been eroded and fighting the injustices that afflicts billions of people. Number 5, and final crime, the migrant crisis. As desperate people flee misery, hunger, natural disasters, and wars, many caused by our own policies, simply saying, close the ports, let them drown. It's a crime. Let's say this. These systemic crimes are not natural phenomena. They are the result of irresponsible policies and powers that prioritize profit over human life. And the solution cannot come from a single nation alone. We need international cooperation to tackle these challenges. No single nation can fight climate change alone. No single nation will open its borders if others do not. No nuclear armed nation will disarm alone if others do not. No nation can end global inequality without the collaboration of all. For centuries, we have told ourselves, si vis pacem para bellum. If you want peace, prepare for war. We have armed ourselves more and more. Yet, war has never ceased to exist. If we truly want peace, we must prepare for peace, not war. And this is what our Italian constitution, for example, tells us, that to build peace, we must prepare peace. It says, Italy repudiates its war, and many of us know this, but it says also, Italy allows on equal terms with other states the limitations of sovereignty necessary for an order that ensures peace and justice among nations. Our Italian constitution speaks to us. It tells us, I'm beautiful, but I'm not enough. You must ally yourself, unite, or I will become just a dead letter. Faced with the unchecked power of states and markets, we need a leap forward in civilization, an expansion of constitutional principles on a global scale, limiting the power of those who place profit above human life and the survival of our planet. We can no longer accept that the decisions of the powerful determine our future. We must raise our voices for a constitution of the earth that protects peace, justice, and the rights of every human being. We must never forget that we are already one global people. We can speak to someone on the other side of the world in real time. We can witness events happening thousands of miles away, and we can physically reach the other side of the world in just a few hours. It's possible. It is not impossible. But to achieve this, we must reject rhetoric that leads us toward self-destruction. Slogans like Avant les Français, America first, Deutschland über alles, Italians first, prima gli italiani. Either we all save each other or no one is saved. These crimes, even if they seem distant, concern us all. War breeds more war. Poverty breeds more poverty. The rights we claim at home, if they are not for everyone, they are not rights. If they are not for everyone, they are privileges, barely guaranteed in a small fraction of humanity. Words, treaties, and international organizations are not enough if power remains in the hands of individual states. Think of the United Nations, a collection of broken promises that cannot be fulfilled. It was created for peace, yet it allows a right of veto. It declares a universal right to health, yet does not establish a global healthcare system. If one had existed, we would have stopped COVID immediately. But no, the World Health Organization has neither the power nor the funds. It has an annual budget of just 2 billion, mostly from private donors, while it would need 4 trillion annually to bring hospitals, vaccines, and life-saving medicine to the entire world. The UN, as it stands, is ineffective. The FAO, which should fight for global hunger, mainly conducts research instead. What we need is an international organization that ensures basic food security, survival itself, using just a tiny fraction of the immense wealth produced globally. Without this, migration will never stop. In the G7 countries, Italy, Japan, Canada, France, UK, Germany, and US, cut just 2% of their annual military spending, just 2%. They would generate enough funds to end world hunger. And environmental protection, who can we achieve if every nation acts independently when our home is one and belongs to all? We need a planetary commons that safeguards our air, drinking water, glaciers, and forests from privatization, exploitation, and destruction. A globally recognized constitutional domain, untouchable by national interest. I know some of you may feel overwhelmed, that you may think change is impossible. But I say it is impossible to continue like this. We must fight for peace with the same intensity with which we have fought for freedom and human rights in the past, because peace is the foundation upon which all forms of justice are built. I have 3 two-purpose solutions, ambitious ones, yes. But who else will do it if not us? And if not now, then when? Thank you.
I want to leave you 5 seconds, right, to breathe what Bernard just shared. Amazing, thank you. You're already on youth, you're already on peace. You're defining not problems, but crimes. I think it's really inspiring. Thank you, Bernard. I want to take a moment and see if anyone in the room has questions or online.
We have questions online.
We have questions online. Fantastic. You wanna?
So,
I'll come.
Sorry. So online, by the way, we have people from Pakistan, India, Sudan, Naples, not that far away, and a couple of other places, but it's pretty amazing. Who are interacting as well. And sorry for the bad sound. Nivedita is asking you, Bernard, climate change is a challenging task for this century. How will democracy help tackle this?
Easy question.
Good luck.
I think that democracy is in danger, and we can see democracy only if we ally more democracy. If the democracy is only national, it will dead. It's impossible to save the democracy, the national democracy. So if we connect with other states, with other people, with other democracy, so we can save it, save our rights, save our values. And then we can work together for fight climate change. And if we not do this now, I see in my region flood every year. And we had the last flood in 1966 in Florence. And in the last 3 years, we had 3 floods every year. So we need this now. And only if we fight together, not like Trump say, I don't agree with the Treaty of Paris or the other treaty. I can save my country, my people alone. Why people believe these words? Why? What they want to see of new? What they need to see of other danger, other question that we have seen so in these years, floods, destruction, and many others. And when I say a common planetary put common the drinking water, the forests, I think about Bolsonaro when he was president of Brazil. He said, Amazonia, it's mine, and I want to destroy Amazonia, and you can't say nothing because Amazonia is mine. But it's not true. It's important for all the people of the planet because it depends on this, the people, the human being here. When Trump say, I want Groenlandia, we can say, okay, it's not a problem. It's not important Groenlandia. But if Groenlandia go down, se si scioglie, ora non mi viene in mente il... If it liquefy, we will have 6 meters over of the sea. Groenlandia is my problem. It's not only a problem of Danish or American people. So we can say, this is mine, it's not your problem. All the countries have to connect each other because the planet is only one, and it's important for everyone.
We have other questions?
Ok, io speravo di no perché... solo perché non so parlare inglese, se no stavo volentieri. Ok, sorry.
It's just that the money should be invested into solving world hunger instead of rearmament. Then how exactly are we supposed to prevent Russia from further moving into Ukraine and attacking other Eastern European countries that are involved?
Yes, I agree in part, but I don't agree with the Latin motto, si vis pacem para bellum. Okay, we have to defend, but we can defend our values, our rights, our freedom in Europe together with a common defend system, not single nations who rearm itself, but a common army of European Union. We talk about this since colpa mia. We talk about this since 1950 in Italy and in Europe, but we have never started this. And now people say, okay, but now we have to rearm our states because we have Putin at the doors. Yes, okay, but let's do this together. But we don't have time. Okay, but I think that weapons, we can have weapons in 1 month or 2 months or 3 months, maybe in 1 year, 2 years. So let's do this now together. The money. I think we can, come si può dire risparmiare? We can save money if we do it together. If we have a common army, we can save money. If every army has a general, so in Europe we have 27 general of army. I think this is not saving money. So let's have one only and save money and turn ever heard it like the European Council. I think people say, oh, it's impossible. Okay, but I think it's impossible go over like we have done in the past. So let's change and see.
If I can, and I don't know if you agree, but I would say the exercise of uniting and even organizing a defense together is not a spend, it's more an investment, right? Which will help us in the future reduce expenses eventually, but also creating peace.
Colombo?
I'm going to relay and ask the question at the same time. So this one is in my name. So to jump on what you were saying, I think there's two kind of steps, right? There's one step, which is Ukraine needs urgent weapons, money, military, political, diplomatic support, and that who cares where it comes from, right? Sorry, I need to move away from this. And then there's long term, which is a common European army to save overheads in terms of each country having their own army. But I think the two can go hand in hand. I think on the one hand, we need to support Ukraine. And on the other hand, you need to plan long term in order to ensure that we do better. Coming as well, don't want to move away from Ukraine, just relaying some other questions from online. Omar from Spain is saying, we often see in countries like Spain and Italy that the youth is alienated by the aging of society and that the political voters to whom political class is addressed are adults. What should be the role of the political class to attract youth participation? How do you attract young people in politics? That's my understanding.
Anzi, dei giorni in politica. Fallo in italiano questo, che è il tuo pezzo forte per chiudere.
Okay.
And for English speakers, they can put the translations.
Qual è il ruolo dei giovani in politica?
Bravo.
Ok. Intanto grazie per le domande, vuol dire che forse qualcosa si è capito, questo mi rassicura. No, il ruolo dei giovani in politica credo sia molto semplice. Intanto la cosa che mi porta a stimare Andrea e Colombo è che non aspettano che sia qualcun altro a dirgli vieni, è il tuo momento, ma si prendono gli spazi e li costruiscono quando mancano. Quindi questo credo sia importante, perché noi giovani diciamo la politica non ci ascolta, ok, se aspetti che arrivi lì a chiamarti non arriverà mai, prendi spazio e intervieni, perché in politica si impegnano sempre meno persone, noi giovani siamo la minoranza, ma è vero anche che se si impegnano sempre meno persone, se ci impegnassimo tutti diventeremo banalmente e facilmente maggioranza. Credo che sia importante l'impegno dei giovani per un motivo solo, non perché i giovani sono migliori degli adulti, non è vero. Però noi giovani siamo diversi ed è la diversità che sta mancando adesso nelle decisioni. Cioè, se a prendere le decisioni sono persone che hanno vissuto la stessa generazione, che guardano il mondo con gli stessi occhi, dallo stesso punto di vista, dalla stessa altezza, sarà difficile cambiare, migliorare, innovare, crescere. Se invece accanto agli adulti che oggi prendono le decisioni ci fossero anche dei giovani, ci sarebbe un conflitto buono. Perché? Perché dalla diversità si cresce. Questo possono portare i giovani, possono portare la diversità. E non possiamo dire al giovane aspetta, devi imparare, poi dopo toccherà a te. No, perché quando sarà cresciuto avrà perso quella ingenuità, quella incompetenza, quella arroganza che oggi ha un valore. Perché se avessero dato retta alcune persone a chi gli diceva te sei il futuro, adesso vai in sala d'attesa, non avrebbero fatto grandi cose. Io vengo da Firenze, a Firenze c'è una bellissima statua di Michelangelo Buonarroti, il David. Quando Michelangelo scolpisce il David aveva solo 26 anni. Quando Albert Einstein scopre la formula sulla relatività aveva 24 anni. Quando Ursula Hirschman diffonde il manifesto di Ventotene durante la Seconda Guerra Mondiale, il primo atto che pensa ad Unione Europea di pace, aveva solo 26 anni. Potrei citare fior di esempi di giovani che hanno fatto grandi cose da ragazzi. Steve Jobs apre la Apple a 21 anni, Guglielmo Marconi non aveva ancora 20 anni quando scopre la radio, Zuckerberg apre Facebook quando non ha ancora 20 anni. E potrei stare qui per minuti e minuti a raccontare esempi di questo tipo, solo per dire che davvero non ne hanno bisogno i giovani di essere ascoltati, ne ha bisogno l'umanità per salvarsi, per crescere e cambiare e migliorare. Quindi davvero la politica ne ha bisogno, perché sta morendo. Il potere sta passando dalla politica alle multinazionali dell'economia. Quindi se vuole morire, continuare a morire, può continuare a non occuparsi di dare protagonismo ai giovani. ogni volta che ci sentiamo dire voi siete il futuro, ecco, preoccupiamoci perché ce lo stanno rubando. Ogni volta che ci dicono tu sei il futuro sorridendo, ce lo stanno rubando. Io non sono il futuro, sono il presente e ringrazio Andrea Colombo e tutti voi per avermi dato l'opportunità di esserlo anche oggi. Grazie. Ciao, prego, per